We're back. We saved the motliest crew for last. I wanted these three guys to be last, so I look better looking at the end of the night, just sitting next to these guys. We have with us tonight Jerry Gomez, Hamilton baseball coach Jerry Gomez, Nottingham coach Charlie Icano, Steiner coach Brian the Chef Giolella, the Titanic trio here. And let's start with you, Jerry. You're coming off your first year as a head man, coming off an 11-14 season. You got a ton of players returning. You have a good offensive team. I'm guessing the big key this year as opposed to last year, those pitchers have to throw strikes this year.
That would help, yeah. It's something we talked about in our exit meetings last year, and it's something that a lot of our pitchers really tried to focus on in the offseason. So we're hoping that all kind of connects for us this year. Like you said, everyone's coming back. So excited and hopeful for this year.
Your offense looks pretty good. I mean, there's probably no question you're going to hit this year, right?
Should be, yeah.
Doesn't that take a little bit of the pressure off the pitchers, knowing that they're going to have some runs to work with?
That's kind of what we've been saying to them is, pitch with confidence, pitch the contact. We got an offense. We're going to support you. We got, again, like you said, everyone kind of comes back. All of our guys have, for the most part, roughly at least 40 to 50 games of varsity experience. So pitch the contact. We'll have offense. We'll back you up, and we'll play in the field and support you there too.
All right. I don't know if you have a starting lineup figured out yet, but if you can sort of run around the infield and the outfield and tell us who's playing where that you know of so far.
Still trying, still in the preseason. We still have one more scrimmage left, so we're still trying to figure all that out. But like you kind of said, we do have a lot of seniors. A lot of seniors will be taking a lot of the positions, some of them at least, and we have a lot of senior pitchers as well. Okay, so we won't focus strictly on positions, but give us the names of some of the guys you're really looking for to produce. Senior base, A.J. Madalena is one kid who he had Tommy John last year, so he was just our DH, so we're looking for him to, he'll be an outfielder, be a pitcher, so it's good to have him back, good to have him fully healthy. We have couple other kids that, Tristan Benia's senior. He's been on the varsity roster since he was a freshman. Henry Jimenez, he's another guy who's kind of been around as a freshman, sophomore. Peter Lanous, again, another kid pitching-wise, an outfielder who has been on the team since he was a freshman. So we're kind of leaning on our seniors that have been around for pretty much 4 years now, and hopefully they can help guide us in the right direction this year.
Nothing like senior leadership.
Yeah, there's nothing like it.
Who's your main arms?
Still trying to figure all that out. We got Bryce Bolanini. He verbally committed to Seton Hall, so we're excited for him in that regard. Madalena coming back from Tommy John, that's a big one to get back. Pete, kind of already said him, Petey Lanous, Tristan Benia. A couple younger guys where hopefully that will help us out, Dan Tozzi. A couple of those guys we're just looking forward to what they could do. All
right, sounds good. That brings us to Nottingham, Charlie Icano. Chuck, if I had any kind of vote in it, you would have been the coach of the year last year. You had an unbelievably interesting year going 0-5 and then finishing up 16-8. Just a great job by you and your team. But you lost a big nucleus from that team.
Yeah.
So what can we expect from the North Stars this season?
Well,
as you move up to the Colonial Division, no less.
Well, thanks for saying that, Rich. I appreciate that.
No problem.
A credit to the boys last year. We had a rough start, starting out 0-5. And we pretty much had a heart-to-heart that, it could be winless season or we can, turn it around from this point. And we did that. And we went on a little run and a little tear, and guys got competitive. Guys fell in the right spots. We lost a big guy, Nick Gaglione, early in the year. So losing a player the first game of the year, he busted up his knee and tendon went everywhere. So we're welcoming him back. He's going to be at the top of the pitching order, and hoping big things from him on the mound this year.
Okay, so you got a lot of newcomers, a lot of young guys. Why don't you just tell us some of the guys we should be looking at this year?
I agree with Jerry. We haven't had much time to prepare and get ready. So guys are still kind of competing out there for spots, especially us being young. I'm still getting used to, seeing some of these players, finding out where they can play on the field, where we can move them to play on the field. Our numbers are light this year, so, guys are going to have to go off the mound to behind the plate to in the outfield on a consistent basis. And we did that previously the past couple years pretty well. And, we got a lot of ninth graders that are going to kind of be competing for some varsity spots. So experience is going to be an issue, but I believe the competitive nature is there, and these young guys are coachable and want to win, and we got to prove that on the field this year.
Okay. Are there a couple names you want to throw out
Yeah,
there?
a couple seniors. Aiden Lippman's been with us in the mix. He's going to move from second to shortstop. He'll be pitching as well a little bit. Brandon Regas is a returning senior. Nick Gaglione's 11th grader. Ethan Miller's a returning varsity 11th grader. And those 4 guys are kind of the upperclassmen for us as far as varsity experience returning. So right there you can see we're going to have a lot of new faces and figure out where guys like fall in. So hopefully we can get on the winning path this year early on and be competitive throughout the year. So looking for a fun season.
It'll be interesting. And as a fellow sushi aficionado, I want you to know that Tommy's Tavern in West Windsor has very good sushi.
Really?
Yeah, it's a little pricey. But,
You have to take me out then after the season.
I think the real chef is going to have to check that out.
Exactly. I said that because we're leaning in now to the chef himself. And, gee, are you now the dean of Mercer County Coach? I know Jimmy Mayer started before you, but as far as consecutive years with one team, oh, wait, you had a couple years where you weren't there. But, well,
Does it really matter?
well, I just
feel old, so
I
it's
just
good.
like to label you as old. That's all.
But I'm going to second the notion about Charlie being coach of the year because he did a bang-up job last year. It was awesome.
Yeah, you actually told me that when we had a private
did.
conversation. You told me that. That's
I
right.
did.
So, what are we looking at for your team here, Chef? I mean, you were 14 and 13, which is kind of un-Spartan-like. You know, where the bar is for Steinert. Heartbreaking loss to Lawrence in the Central Jersey Group 3 quarterfinals. But you have 12 seniors coming back who gained experience either last spring or over the summer. What are we going to see from Steinert this year?
Well, I know that we have pitching, and that's going to be the forefront. I think hopefully it's going to be our strength. I really have 2 starters back in position, maybe 3. That's Ramey Feniello and Joey Ditta. He's going to be outfield and shortstop. Jack Prilly was sick a little bit last year and hurt, so he was the other starter in right field, would have been most of the year. So after that, you know, we have a field that's up for grabs. But we do have 15 players that are on the roster of 22 that played with our Legion team last summer.
Right.
And to me, that's one of our successes that, you know, or the reason why we try to have success, because we work so well and players would have basically a varsity season under their belt last summer before they come to me. And a lot of those kids were freshmen, now are sophomores with me, or they were sophomores and now juniors. And, you know, that makes it a lot easier.
Who you said you have good pitching? Who were some of those
So
arms?
we have 7 arms. We have Mason Grant, senior, Ethan Zimmerman is a senior, Marco Giambrone, Matt Morris, Joe Maglione are all 11th graders, and we have 2 sophomore pitchers, Stephen James and Chris Samanka.
Okay, so I mean, the goals at Steinert are always the same, right? You want to compete for the county title, compete for a sectional title. I mean, am I missing anything, or is that the goals again this year?
No, they're the goals every year. Listen, you know, we don't always reach them, and they're not always attainable, but we try. And you know, these players, they worked hard, and like I said, you know, with 12 seniors on the roster, obviously, you know, they've been through the program and understand the program, and I think that has to bode well, I would hope.
Yeah. I want to wrap it up. I just want to throw something at all 3 of you guys. Baseball in Hamilton Township, you know, a lot of sports go peaks and valleys. Baseball in Hamilton Township has always remained so solid. All 3 of you guys grew up in the township. I mean, you're all coaching your alma maters. I mean, how special is baseball in this township, high school baseball to you? I'll start with you, Jaron, and go right down the line.
That was actually a conversation we had when you called me when I got the job. It was something I thought about. I didn't really think about it until you brought that up, and when I got hired as the baseball coach, and it's the pride of Hamilton West, and we're kind of about that program that's always just grinding, right? We're always that kind of try to be the tough team to play, never count us out. So you know, part of that to me is we've had the last 2 seasons are un-Hamilton West-like, and we're, you know, part of what me and my staff are really trying to do is get us back to where we need to be and where we can be and where we should be.
Right. Well, I mean, the thing is, though, say you're out of it, you're not playing, and these guys are in the state tournament.
Yeah.
Are you rooting for them? I mean, is there?
You put me on the spot there. I mean, listen, it's a rivalry, but obviously I support them. Like I do.
That's what I'm saying.
I've known,
yeah.
Charlie. I've known him since I was a freshman here. He was the JV coach. G, I got the honor to play for the Carpenter Cup. So I've known these guys since I was 13, 14 years old. So
Right.
I always have that mutual respect of, of course you want them to succeed, because if they succeed, Hamilton succeeds, and that's a good look for all of us.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that, Chuck?
I totally agree. It's nice to be like coaching at your alma mater and seeing all the guys that you either were a couple years older than you or playing against. If you look back at all the CVC coaches and even a lot of the guys in the CVC, they're former players that moved on to coaching. But, it's just great to be out there and be competitive and see familiar faces and just having fun. I feel like a lot of the sports that I grew up with and playing competitive sports is just, giving it back to the kids and seeing the passion and seeing them grow as players and adults is, great thing about coaching.
Yeah. All right, G. Unlike an umpire, I'm going to give you the last word.
We have a unique community here with 3 high schools, with a handful of little leagues, and 2 Babe Ruth leagues still thriving, and a Legion program that still works when that's something that's failing, unfortunately, in our state. So to say the least, that we have 3 programs that are legitimate baseball programs, high school baseball programs in New Jersey, and that compete every single year and have success every single year. I think that you can't really say that all the time,
Right.
to other areas. You can't. There's single programs out there, single school districts, and, they have up and down years and this and that, but, I mean, we win every year.
Yeah. Well, at least one team's coming out of here as making a run somewhere or the other. So, hey, fellas, always great. I can't wait for the season to start. Can't wait to see you guys. Thanks for your time, and good luck this year.
Thanks a lot, Rich. Appreciate
All right,
it.
guys.
As always, thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
And that will wrap up our inaugural CVC Coaches Corner. Take a look at these guys. Think of them what you will. None of them shaved for this. None of us shaved for this tonight. But we thank everybody for watching, and we'd like to see you come out and support some of these teams this year. So thanks again, and we'll see you later.